What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and baby, let's get into the drama of it all because we got a lot to talk about. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So let's talk about it. So first, let's talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and let's get into some shady online antics. So first up is Dorit. So this Reddit page was taking screenshots of the ladies in their comments, and the caption of the picture said Dorit's Instagram comment about Sutton. So the page No Smoke No More reposted it with the caption "Oh," and a Instagram user by the name of 117 Beauty says Sutton's behavior changes on a dime because she's drunk. And then Dorit responded to that person with the hashtag facts. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I posed this question in my review. So if you haven't seen my review for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, definitely check it out, where I was like, is the tide going to change on Dorit? Because right now everyone is loving this Dorit. Everyone is feeling and vibing with this Dorit right now. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, this is season 7 Dorit. Like, this is big Dorit. This is big Dorit. You know, like everyone's going up for her right about now. And so when I saw this post, I went to the replies and the quote tweets, and I was actually surprised by the fact that it was split. Like, some people were really feeling this, and other people were like, yeah, I'm getting sick of her. Like, she doing too much. And I was like, well, is the tide turning? I'm not sure. I could see it turning because even with the sneak peek that they showed of Kyle and Dorit getting into it at, like, it looked like a disco party, everyone was saying Dorit was doing too much. And then some people were like, no, she's doing enough. It's interesting that now I feel like people are more in the middle, where I felt like a lot of people were like on her side, but now it seems to be shifting. And I'm wondering if she's going to be able to hold the viewers' attention, or are they going to start reverting back to the way that they've been treating Dorit for the past couple of seasons? So the next thing is Bose. So Bose is throwing shots at Sutton, and she posted this to her Instagram, and it was a repost of what she said on the after show. And this was after, Sutton basically threw in Dorit's face that, you're not mad at me, you're mad at your life. And Bose was like, don't weaponize someone's like vulnerability. So she said this: just to put a sharp fine pin on the matter, reminder to everyone who is going to spend the holidays with people who know you for your long time, beware of the weapons, don't stand for it. So she said hashtag RHOBH, hashtag weaponize, hashtag English major in the building, hashtag class is in session. And basically on the after show, Bose was saying how Sutton says she has this like big vocabulary, but she couldn't use other words to come at Dorit. And the energy was split on this one too, where a lot of people were feeling it, but other people were like, girl, get out of Dorit's, ASS, and Bose needs to tread lightly on Sutton. So it's just interesting to me because I've seen people coin Bose and Dorit like the new Garcelle and Sutton, or the better Garcelle and Sutton, now that a lot of people feel like Sutton and Garcelle are the new villains of the show. But I didn't expect the energy to be so split because it's the same way with Dorit. So the last thing I want to talk about is Kyle and Teddy. So this was from OK Magazine, and it was an update on their living situation. And this is coming from TV Deets. And it says this: Kyle Richards and Teddy Mellencamp are living together. It was Kyle's idea to invite Teddy to move in with her, sources tell OK Magazine. She knows what it's like being separated and having all these feelings to contend with. And it was the comments that had me weak that was like, girl, they doing lesbian things. Another person was like, I see you, Kyle. You trying to get your friend back on this show, but it's not gonna work. And I agree. I do not want to see Teddy. I don't. Maybe I want to like an episode or two of her talking about this affair and her breaking up with Eddie, but I don't want to see her like on this show as a friend of or full time. So next, y'all, let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Peter, girl. Peter. So this was posted on December the 19th, and it was reported by the Neighborhood Talk that Peter Thomas has been sentenced to 18 months in prison for tax fraud case. So let me play the video that the Neighborhood Talk posted.
At the federal courthouse in Charlotte, North Carolina. So Peter Thomas was just sentenced to 18 months in federal prison for his tax case. He basically is also sentenced with paying $2.5 million restitution for this particular tax case. Basically, so what happened with Bar Charlotte, we kind of all heard about Bar 1 in Atlanta. Basically, he opened up Bar in Charlotte, and the withholdings for his employees, he was misdirecting those funds. It was pretty, it was, they got into a lot of detail. He should be coming down in just a second, so I want to try to catch him when he comes out the door. So give me just a second. Let me get myself.
So, if you didn't understand what the lady was saying as to why Peter got sentenced to 18 months in prison, here's why. And this is coming from the page called local10.com, and I'll put the link below if you would like to read it for yourself. But this is basically what happened. According to a federal prosecutor in North Carolina, Thomas was living in Miami when he pled guilty in July to failing to account for and pay over to Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, the trust fund taxes due on the behalf of his employees. Instead of paying the IRS, prosecutors alleged he was motivated by greed to spend his employees' payroll taxes to prop up his failing business ventures and to shop at Givenchy, Prada, Louis Vuitton, and Neiman Marcus. Basically, Peter wasn't paying his taxes, and he should have been paying them taxes because now. So Peter ended up getting online to respond to, everybody's reaction to the situation. And this is coming from the Bravo Shade Room. They titled the video with this title: Peter Thomas sentenced to 18 months in prison for tax fraud in order to pay $2.5 million in restitution to the IRS, withholding employees' taxes and not paying it directly to the IRS.
I'll be making an appearance in the United States government federal courthouse here in Charlotte, North Carolina, to face the music of not paying consistently withholding taxes for business over 10 years. And I thought it was something that I could rectify by getting on that payment plan and paying it. But it doesn't work like that with withholding taxes. All right. I was found guilty. Not found guilty, I plead guilty. And with my plea of guilty, I have to sit down for a while. So my public announcement is to tell all small business owners, this is one of those things that you will get locked up for if you don't pay those withholding taxes consistently. United States government don't play with that. So if you don't have that budget to handle your payroll consistently, and you have to pay your payroll before you pay your rent, because the landlord could evict you. You ain't gonna go to jail though, okay? But you will go to jail for not paying your withholding taxes with the United States government, okay? So that's my public announcement. Tomorrow afternoon, this time I know my fate, okay? And I have to stand in it, and I have to stand up for it, okay? Because I was wrong, and I have to pay the dues. My parents are not excited about this. I know my dad is rolling over in his grave now that, Peter, come on, I didn't raise you that way. And my mom, she wanted to make the trip here to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I told her, no, I don't want you to see me like that. But all business owners out there, I promise you, pay those withholding taxes. Don't fall in the same situation that I am, okay?
So here's my thing. This sucks. And I think I'm only saying that because I like Peter. Peter's one of the few men in reality TV, and specifically Real Housewives, the universe, that I actually enjoy. And he makes me laugh. So I like him. I also had a family friend, God rest her soul, who used to frequent his bar in Charlotte, and she would post pictures with him and her friends with him. And I remember asking her, like, is he like nice, or like how is his vibe? And she was like, he's always kind and always has something like funny or cool to say. Like, she never really had anything derogatory or bad to say about him. So for me, when it comes to people going to jail, I feel like, yeah, if you do something like nefarious or like evil or sinister, yeah, put them in the jail. But it's like, dang, you going to jail for fraud, bro. But then again, I'm of the belief you never play with the alphabet mafia. The FBI, the IRS, and the CIA, anytime they bring anything up against you, 9 times out of 10, they have the evidence to prosecute you, and you should just fall on the sword. And I think that's what Peter was doing when he gave out that a public response to everybody, and especially thanking the judge and everyone that he got like a fair sentence, because he's only going to be in jail for a year and was it year and 5 months? No, a year and 6 months. He's only going to be in jail in a year and 6 months. And he might get off due to good behavior. I don't know if he's going to federal prison, because I think in federal prison you have to serve 85% of your sentence. But I don't think he will be going into like a maximum level security kind of situation, because this isn't a violent offense. But yeah, you got to pay them taxes. You got to pay them taxes. So on a lighter note, Nene and Kenya, when I tell you, when I saw this, the pictures and the clip of them smiling together, it made me smile. So Kenya was on Candy's Amazon Live, and she was talking about Nene not needing them filters. And it's true, because I thought Nene kept doing work to her face until I saw videos of Nene that are recent, and Nene looks like Nene, but the picture she posts does not look like her. I need her to let the filters go, because she actually is a pretty lady. Even with the work, even before she got the work done, she was still a nice looking woman, and the filters make her look like she trying to be the cat lady. But Kenya and Nene bumped into each other in London at the airport, and it was just such a cute scene. So let me play it for you.
Oh my God, you guys. Look who I ran into. Not only was she in London, we done bumped into each other in the airport. Wait a minute, is this enough filter, Kenya? Is this enough filter?
Relax on those damn filters.
Is this enough filter, Kenya? This is skin, honey. This is skin.
This is skin.
I don't have on any makeup. I'm over here, not even lashes. Not even lashes.
You can't have a filter where it's all blurry and you can't even see the person's
The
face.
good Lord let you run into him, honey. I done ran into her in the airport, and I am about to steal her luggage, honey. Thank you. Oh my God, you guys.
When I tell y'all, legit, y'all, this made me smile. Like, it was just nice to see them getting along, laughing with each other, throwing slick shade back and forth. Like, the growth, the growth. And one of the best seasons of Real Housewives, I think that was season 10. It was the reunion where they wrapped Kim up. Oh, that was chef's kiss, bro. Nene and Kenya wrapped Kim up so bad that girl was in the bathroom crying about nobody else would take this. No other white woman would take this. Oh, bring them back, Bravo. Bring both of them back. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Orange County. Girl, I guess Shannon either made an ultimatum or the network was just like, Alexis, you done what we needed you to do. But she was not asked back for season 19. So it says this: Alexis Bellino announces exit from the Real Housewives of Orange County. I was not asked back. It says the reality star opened up about the exit from the Bravo franchise, saying that while nobody wants the rejection, it was a little bit of a relief. So it says Alexia Bellino will not be a part of Real Housewives of Orange County upcoming 19th season. The reality star announced her exit from the franchise while guest hosting the Gone Rogue podcast in an episode that dropped earlier Friday, December the 20th. She goes on to say, I was not asked back next season, she told guests Roxy Earl, Real Housewives of Toronto, and Carlos King of the Reality with the King podcast. Bellino, who first made her debut on OC in season 4 and left after season 8, had returned to the hit reality show on season 17 after a 10-year absence, this time a friend of, and while a few, including executive producer Andy Cohen, celebrated her comeback, many of the fans turned on the mother of 3 as she butted heads with longtime housewife Shannon Storms Bador. So I'm going to skip over the part of the article that talks about the relationship drama between, Shannon, Alexis and John and just get to the part where she talks about her not being shocked that she wasn't asked back. So it says this. So it should come as no surprise to fans that Alexis won't be returning. In fact, she herself said she was expecting it. I can't say it came as a shock. It did not come as a shock, Alexis said on Going Rogue. It was a hard conversation. I guess I wasn't really prepared because I don't think contracts were coming out. Like, I thought we had more time. So it was a shock when they called me, but I was never shocked about that information. It was a little bit of a relief, she added. I mean, nobody wants the rejection and no one wants to hear you're not asked back, but it had already happened to me. It happened to me in season 8. I've been there before, done that. All I'm going to say is Alexis played herself in such a way that is it should be studied, because like the article says, which I'll put the link in the description box below if you want to read it in its entirety, we hadn't seen you in 10 years. You could have talked about your trans child. You could have talked about how you were dealing with life after divorce, but your sole focus was sending a barrage of like digs, threats, and like hatred towards Shannon and trying to throw John in her face. And then you being like the shield and soldier for John when it's like, girl, no one cares about that man. We moved on from him after we found out that they broke up. Like, there was such a way that she could have played this. Even if Alexis and John were together, all she had to do is like, let Shannon know, hey, I'm not here to beef with you. I'm just here to like get to know the group, possibly you, if you want that to happen. If you don't want that to happen, that's cool. I'm not going to throw it in your face that I'm with that man. Even if it would have came out that he was going to sue Shannon, all Alexis had to say is, well, I told him this isn't the route that he should go, but this is his money and that's his right if he thinks he deserves that money back, and let it go. But you being like, I need to be there when you talk to her, and does she want the videos coming out, made you look like a total asshole, bro. And it was just like, there was no need for that. No need. It just felt like you wanted to be mean and callous because, I don't know, maybe you wanted to have a one-up on Shannon, or maybe it gave you some sense of like pride to like now be picked by someone you think loves you for real. I don't know. You just made yourself look bad, Alexis. So let's talk about a little bit of shade, okay? A little fun shade. So y'all know the whole situation that happened between Katie and Heather was all because Katie felt like Heather snubbed her at Sutton's Christmas party. Well, 'tis the season, and Sutton had a Christmas party, and Heather was invited, and this is what she posted. She says, a little roundup of a few parties lately. I'm pretty sure no one was snubbed. And she put like, the shrug emojis, the finger cross, dancing, and a laugh. She says, I love wearing sparkles, things at the holidays, happy everything, everyone. Now, some people got their panties in a bunch about the snub situation, but I'm going to let you know, you played in my face. I don't like you. I'm going to throw shade when I feel like it. And to me, that's fun shade. You got snubbed, or you felt like you got snubbed. We move on from there. So the next picture that got the people a little upset was a picture posted by Gina, and it had Heather, Tamra, Shannon, and Emily in it, and they exchanged Christmas gifts, basically like bracelets with their initials on it, and it says this: perfect holiday lunch celebrating all the history we have together, all the success we have brought each other throughout all the ups and downs. Laughs were had, gifts were exchanged, and Shannon, clearly still Shannon. Happy holidays to all our loyal, amazing fans who stick with us through it all. We love and appreciate you. So a lot of people felt like this was a meetup for them to gang up on Jen and Katie, and people were disappointed in Shannon being cool and hugged up with Tamra. But girl, it's reality TV, and the name of the game is keep your spot. And if they not gonna get rid of Tamra, I can understand Shannon being like, girl, I gotta keep my enemies close, okay? It's so I don't have a stressful season. But I also feel like it's not fair to be mad at these ladies meeting up when Shannon met up with Katie and Jen by herself a few days prior, because Katie posted this on her Instagram where she said, when life gives you oranges, put 3 in a bowl. So it seems like Shannon is going to be like neutral next season because she seems cool with Jen and Katie and she seems cool with the rest of the ladies. So I'm not hating. Like, let the people hang out with who they want to hang out with. Whether they plotting to gang up on people, we'll see next season. And what I really find interesting is Vicky commented on the picture that had Gina, Heather, Tamra, Shannon, and Emily in it, saying this: "Hope you all had a great time. Sorry I couldn't make it." And I said, Vicky, weren't you just saying that you hate Tamra, that she's not the type of person you want to be around? And then you look at Shannon and all the things that Tamra put Shannon through last season, and it's just kind of like, don't be invested. You know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy. That's why I feel like sometimes when we take reality TV too seriously, unless it's something that needs to be taken seriously, like, you know, racism, sexism, or like anybody being like blatantly, you know, abused in any type of way, yes, we should take that seriously. But when it comes to like these friendships, I always look at them like with a grain of salt, because I'm like, honestly, we don't know if this is something that they cooked up for the season or if, you know, they'll make amends or something like that. So everyone being invested in certain relationships, I take a step back after a while, because I'm just like, I don't really know these people. I'm just watching an edited show and enjoying it for what it is. So that's why every season, when the new season starts, especially before I started reviewing, but really now when I started reviewing, I give everybody a clean slate unless they do something egregious, and I just move forward, because they be resetting the clock every season like nothing ever happened. So let's talk about Married to Medicine, because it looks like tonight's episode is about to be a mess. So Heavenly posted this yesterday where she said, "Let me apologize now. Hashtag Married to Medicine this Sunday night at 9 p.m. on Bravo and the next day on Peacock. Tune in, Dr." She said, hashtag Dr. Heavenly, hashtag Team Daddy. And it's the photos that the girls are taking for the Beyonce-esque inspired. It look a mess. It looks a mess, girl. It really does. Oh, Jesus. Y'all, never again. Toya should never be anybody's like designer or visionary for a photo shoot, because this ain't it. She also posted this picture of her and Sweet Tea posing together where she said, we look good. Hashtag Married to Medicine. And I'm still surprised that they got them to do this picture together. And I will say, Heavenly and Letitia are like nice looking women, and in this picture they do look really nice together. Although I need to see what Letitia look like from the front instead of the side, but the side profile of the outfit she got on is kind of eaten. But I'm excited. This is going to be the episode where Contessa tells Heavenly, "Square up, ho." I'm locked in. So let's get into a Karen update, because girl, ever since them body cam footage was released, it's been nonstop, bro. Nonstop. So first up, this was posted on December the 19th by Page 6, and it says, RHOP star Karen Huger's Bravo's future in jeopardy following DUI. She needs to clean up her act. So it goes on by saying this: the word on the street is Karen Huger's future at Bravo is up in the air if she doesn't get herself together. Page 6 has exclusively learned that the network is open to cutting ties with the Real Housewives of Potomac star, who has been on the reality show since season 1 after she was found guilty of her DUI. It goes on to say she would need to clean up her act from Bravo to move forward with her, a source tells us Thursday. However, we're also told no official casting conversations have taken place. The insider added that since season 9 of RHOP, which is currently airing, was already shot, Huger's scenes will not be affected. It goes on to say Page 6 has reached out to the rep for the reality star, and Bravo did not hear back immediately. It says Huger is not the first housewife to be charged with a DUI, though. The Real Housewives of New York star alum Luann de Lipset and the reality star of Real Housewives of Orange County, Shannon Beador, have both been arrested for the same crime. However, it was the first time either of the latter two reality stars have committed that offense. As a result, they were both able to escape jail time and subsequently return to Bravo. Huger, meanwhile, has been arrested for a DUI at least one other time. In 2016, she opened up to gossip about her first time in the slammer nearly 10 years prior. So here's my thing. I think this is rich coming from Bravo. And the reason why I say that is Bravo, I get they're trying to clean their act up since, all these lawsuits against them. But don't forget who y'all are. Like half of your Real Housewives ladies are in prison or in jail or battling some type of addiction, okay? Teresa went to jail for fraud. Joe went to jail for fraud. Jen Shaw is in there for scamming people. On top of that, Luann, Shannon, Gina, girl, lump Sonya in there too. We all know. And Dorinda, as much as I like Dorinda, we've seen people get like wasted on these shows. Even if you watch like Southern Charm, everyone thinks Shep might have a drinking problem. If you watch Summer House, people over there doing crack cocaine and all of that stuff. Like, and Below Deck, it's just kind of like, y'all can't put these parameters like on people this late in the game. But I do think they're right, and Karen does need to clean her act up because this is your second DUI compared to other people that it was their first. I don't know what's going to happen for Karen and her future with Bravo. I think if she's smart, and I think if she listens to the people around her instead of her ego and her pride, when it comes time to the reunion, she'll fall on the sword and take whatever and anything that they give her and just accept it. Because at this point, girl, the evidence is out there and you look a fool. You look extremely bad, sis. Extremely bad. To the point of like, there might be a chance you can't come back for this, but I think you can if you play your cards right. So we finally got some information how Andy feels about this situation, and I'll put the link below, but I'm just going to read Andy's portion. This came out by way of People, and it says, Andy Cohen reacts to RHOP star Karen Huger's guilty DUI verdict. It's very sad. It goes on to say the reality star 61 was found guilty on all charges except reckless driving for her March DUI arrest. People confirmed on December the 18th. Andy goes on to say, he says this, she was found guilty of all charges except reckless driving. Her rep tells People on December the 18th. And Cohen now tells People of all the news. I think it's all sad. I haven't really processed it yet. He said at Sirius XM 10th annual Radio Andy Holiday Hangout at the Sirius XM Fishbowl in New York City on Thursday, December the 19th. But I think it's very sad. So when Andy says it's very sad, I took it two ways. Either one, it's sad because we might have to let her go after this. Or two, I think it's sad because he actually really likes Karen. And he was like the rest of us who somewhat like Karen. And I know Karen stands and fans. It's like you're disheartened. It's kind of funny, but it's also like shameful, and it was disturbing because it's like, girl, you really thought you was going to beat this with this amount of evidence against you? Like, ooh, girl. But I'm hoping if she got a call from Andy or a call from production, they're coaching her on how to maneuver this situation. Because in all honesty, like if Karen plays her cards right, like I said, she might be able to come back from this, but you got to play your cards right. Karen has to get on that stage crying it out, letting everybody know I effed up. I thought it wasn't that bad. I thought I could beat it. My head got too big and I made a fool of myself, and here I am. But if she doesn't show up at the reunion, there's no coming back from this. And a lot of people are speculating that she's not going to come. I hope she comes. I definitely hope she comes, but I hope she comes with humility and surprises all of us, because a lot of people, myself included, don't think that Karen is going to accept any accountability because she is the queen of deflection, but you can't really deflect this. And then the last thing is, it looks like the girls had a Christmas party. So there's a picture circulating with NECA, Ashley, Giselle, and Sharice. And Sharice actually looks really good in this picture. But a lot of people were in their feelings. And I was like, well, y'all, they are friends beyond the show. And I was like, girl, I know they talking about Karen at that party. They may not be talking about her the whole time, but I know they, especially Sharice, because Sharice has been saying it since day one that Karen was a drunk, that everybody knew her as the town drunk. And now she pretty much been vindicated by this information. And I know she feels some type of way. I know she's like, yeah, I told y'all. But I'm interested in seeing how Giselle and Ashley are going to play it at the reunion. Are they going to be supportive to Karen, or are they going to really be on her, like her neck or her ass? It was nice to see NECA. NECA looked nice. I was talking to one of my mutuals. I feel like I'd be cool with NECA coming back. I started to warm up to her closer to the end of the season, but I also feel like production, and she did it to herself. She did a disservice by sticking so hard to like her beef with Wendy when there were other things going on in her life that they could have shown, but they really felt like the Wendy versus NECA thing was really gonna kick off, and it just made everybody look bad, including Wendy, to a lot of people. But it was nice to see the girls out for the holidays. So yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. And as always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in the comments below, subscribe, and like if you like the video. So I'm out, y'all. Deuces.